Hello and welcome to App DNA, where we talk about all things apps. Now we have entered week 3 and this week we have a guest with us. It's a developer and I'm not a developer. So I and the developer are going to build the same donor app but in our own ways. I'm going to build it in low code and he is going to use traditional programming like Java, etc., etc. So our developer is engrossed in doing some deep thinking with his fellow programmers. Let's go and find him out. Are you ready yet? So we have Ashok here and I'm going to ask him a question about something that I don't know. How many languages do you know?
Maybe 3 languages. So it is Java, .NET and Go.
Okay, Go is the first language that I heard for the first time.
That's a language that is developed by Google.
Google.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are trying to build a donor app today here.
Okay.
I'll be building the app in 5 steps. I'm going to build 3 forms.
Okay.
A donor form, a campaign form, a donation form,
Okay.
a workflow and a dashboard.
Okay.
So let's start with the first form. You build it with your traditional language.
Sure.
Which language are you going to use?
Maybe Java.
Java.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to use Zoho Creator.
What will be there in the first form actually?
So I'm just trying to take the basic details of the donor, ask them the name, email, phone number, and I'm having a special category. So I want to know what are their interests
Okay.
for donations.
Okay.
So let's start building it right now. If you have to collect any sort of information in a database, you will need a form. Now in Creator, a form is built through a drag and drop builder. See, there are data elements on the left hand side. I simply had to drag and drop them. Let's say I wanted to know the name of the donor, so I dragged and dropped the name field. Similarly, there was a right hand side column where I could edit the properties of these data fields and set values to them. In this way, I created the first add a donor form, which is really easy. We are done with the first form.
Yeah.
What took you so many days?
It is like we need to do some initial setups and also it will take time. So 3 days is quite normal for a developer to build this kind of thing.
Can you tell me the entire process that you went through? What were the hiccups in the process?
So this, we don't call it as a hiccup, but this is our usual procedure. So what we do is like, first you need to build an database, then you need to build an server, then you need to write the front end design, then you need to make the design, then you need to design the database. Only then you will be able to build an application and see the form and the like.
Okay, I'll have to Google all that. I don't understand any of it. I think I'll stick to low code. I built it within like 5 minutes and then I was chilling for
5
all
minutes.
this time. Yeah, that you were building it.
Okay.
So let's get started with the next form and see how it goes.
What will be the next form?
So next form is the campaign form.
Okay.
It will have details that you want to know when a campaign has been created, like the beneficiary name, the goal amount, then what category this campaign comes under, and that's it. Let's get started with the second form.
Yeah.
I created a campaign form much the same way. What's the name of this campaign? Who is the beneficiary? What is the cause of this campaign? And a little bit description about it so that donors know more about this campaign. What is the goal amount? And so on. What are you up to?
Don't disturb me, I'm still working.
What went wrong?
It will definitely take time for me. This is why, because I need to repeat the same procedures which I did for the first form, so it will take time.
I think I'm going to start with the third form.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the donation form. So you have to take the email of the donors and I'm going to make the form public so that I can share it in the social media.
Okay.
They have to come, they will log in, they will see the campaigns that are running and they will donate. And I'll also integrate it with the payment gateway.
With payments, then I need to check on some third-party APIs and all. It's going to take more time for me.
Yes, I'm going to win. So I'm going to build the third form now. Bye-bye. So let's create a new form and I'll name it as donation form. Now in my donation form, the first thing I want to know is which campaign is my donor contributing to. For this, we'll be using a special data field called the lookup, which is used to relate two forms to each other so that we can access the data residing in another form for this current form. So it asks me which form do I want to refer to. I want to refer to the campaign form and I want to know the cause. So I hit done and here is my campaign. So here I can choose which fields I want to be displayed. I also want to display the goal amount so that my donor knows how much he should contribute to in order to match the goal. Once I know the campaign, I can now add his name and his email. Next, I will use the currency field to denote how much is his contribution. And I hit done. So my donation form is ready. So when I select a campaign, I can see that the child rights is being denoted here and the goal amount is 1,000. So the lookup is working and then I can add the name, email and contribution. Hey, you're done with the third form?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Yes, I'm also done with it. But I'm stuck with the fourth step.
What's the fourth step?
So there's a workflow. When the donations are coming through the payment gateway, I want that it should be reflected in the campaign report.
Yeah.
So if it's initially zero, when $400 come in, it should reflect $400, but I don't know how to do it.
Okay, we usually build these kind of application logics using Java. So what we do is like we access this variable from donation database and we update it in campaigns database. So that is how we actually do it. So maybe you can try this out in your application as well.
Okay, I'll have to figure it out. Add a new action, and I want that a Deluge script should run on successful form submission. This is the workflow builder which works just like our form builder. We drag and drop these Deluge tasks. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this fetch records task here. I don't want this builder here, which makes it much easier. I'm going to code right away. So I'm going to use a variable. Let's say my variable is fetch campaign. So what this variable is doing, it's going to my campaign form. So I'll go to my campaign form. I will check for all the IDs which match the campaign that my donor is donating to via the donation form. And how we'll do it, we'll use ID. So ID is a creator identifier through which creator identifies each record that is submitted in a form. So if my ID equals input.campaign, so if some ID matches the campaign which my donor is contributing to, that record will be fetched and it will be put into the fetch campaign variable. Once I know the particular record that I'm talking about, now I can manipulate it through this variable, and that will be done through it like fetch campaign dot donated amount equals fetch campaign dot donated amount plus input dot your contribution. So I hope you got the flow. It's really easy.
Hey, I'm done with the fourth step.
I'm done with the app itself.
What about the fifth step then?
Yeah, I'm going to build it, but it will take just 5 minutes. So I'm going to build a dashboard.
Based on all the three forms.
Yeah, you can have pie charts and bar charts. So I'm going to use this pie chart to know which campaigns are doing well.
Okay.
And the donated amount versus the goal amount. And then I'm also going to embed these reports here.
Okay, so it's like an entire summary of what the app is containing.
Exactly, a summary. So you have to build a dashboard.
Okay, then it's again going to take a couple of days for me. I need to do some client-side libraries and all for this.
Life is very difficult for developers. All the best. Let's create a new page. I'll name my page as campaign dashboard. And this is the play arena where we can create our dashboard and make it as interactive as possible. So let's use this button here. Here I can choose what will appear here. So let's say I want to know how many new donors have been added this month. So I can go to count from my donor form, show count is actual, evaluate for all records. And here I'm going to change it to new donors this month. I want to know the campaigns which are running. So I can simply embed as report and I can click and drag and drop it here. So at a glance, I'll know all the campaigns that have been running this month. Now that we are done with our dashboard, there are a lot of other things that you can do with pages. Low code platforms are easy to learn.
My app remains unique with my own UI and UX.
Low code apps take much less time and effort. I did it in a day. You were taking days on to build the same app.
I could have taken more time, but I can scale it to any extent.
I think bug fixing and editing is much easier with low code platforms.
I build my own infrastructure, so my data remains in my own servers.
I can build my own apps myself. I don't have to depend on other developers who know other languages for the front end, back end. Everything I can build on my own.
There is flexibility. I can customize and brand my own application.
I don't have to worry about building a mobile app separately. The moment I build a web app, a mobile app and tab app is already there in low code.
That's completely fine, but any low-code platform is ultimately built on a programming language like Java, and it's a checkmate here.
Checkmate, I lost.
Yeah.
You developers are really smart, and I agree with the point that low code ultimately is developed on some language. So, with that, we conclude our friendly game here. But there's no clear winner because both serve entirely different purposes. If apps are your main business, then you have to go for traditional programming. But if you are a business looking to optimize your processes, then I think low code is the clear winner here. So, thank you for your time and thank you for building the donor app with me. I think it gave a clearer picture to our audience. If you like this video and learned anything about low code versus traditional programming, then please hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel for more such app DNA content. If you think this would be useful to any of our friends, then please share it to them. And for any doubts, please comment below.
For more contents, please click on the bell icon to get instant notifications. ஐயோ கட் பண்ணிடுங்க